Hey there, everyone. This is raocow doing that usual Patapon thing, and today we're doing the Patapon thing, which is very different from usual. I am muy aware. So last time, oh yeah, first of all, I wanted to kind of apologize for last time a little bit. I kind of rushed the end. I hope no one was upset or something. I didn't get any feedback that would say that, so I'm glad for that. Um, I took, okay, so,
Good morning.
oh, I already got that.
It's Keela
Did
calling.
I?
This is
I'm
David
kind of
Shiv Channel.
lost, yeah, but I'm pretty sure I
Thanks
saw
for
that.
tuning in.
Because I thought I skipped out a
Cheers,
song
ladies.
portion, but I think by Fusion Warrior. But I'm pretty sure that well, it's okay. I like this song, so I don't mind having it here again. Oh man, I'm a little bit lost, but that's fine. How's it going? How's it going, y'all? Because Kaika has this thing where, they usually watch these on the DS, but apparently videos that are over an hour don't work well, so I figured, alright, but I mean, they told me not to worry about it, so I won't worry about it. But these shouldn't be an hour long anyways, like, that is way too long. I don't know why I don't like to make super long products. I just think at some point it gets diluted and gets lost, and I don't know if it's really that interesting. Anyway, that said, let's get started. Starting with Zerix. Once again, if I ever forget you or whatever, please tell me, let me know, and I'll correct things afterwards. Zerix, so you said you've only quit 2 projects, Mariari and Valdis Store. I remember the reasoning for both, but I noticed you left out Hina's Fluffy Dream. Does that mean that there's still hope for it coming out of hiatus someday? Hopeful cat emoticon? It's more that I forgot about it again. I keep forgetting about it. Which is probably a fate worse than just merely quitting, right? It's just that, oh man, it's that where I left off is in the pose game, and now I've lost every single amount of motor control of that game forever, because I haven't played in quite a while. I don't think it's realistic to expect, especially since what made me quit was a section, because what's fun about Hina is the whole gravity gimmick, but then the pose game was all like, hey, I'm gonna give you a level all about, strategic, super careful timing, freeze enemy in midair mechanic instead. Oh boy, we understand what makes a game good. I wouldn't put all my hopes in it unless it wins a future Patreon thing or something, which I hope doesn't happen, but I mean I ain't control anything of you, y'all. Dr. Bumbles from Fizzle, it's music! Which I'm gonna put after this is done. Remember that one time I asked you about your favorite Canadian province flag was? How about favorite US state flags? Isn't there 50 of them? There's a trillion of them, basically it amounts to. Honestly, I'm glad I was born Canadian because, geography class in the States, you gotta learn 50 states that all literally look the same. Look at that, all the states are super stupid. They're all squares with no discernible, whatever. So these are flags that exist. I like the flag of Alaska. It's the Tupperware star. Flag of Hawaii is pretty dumb. Oh, I like the pelican in the flag of Louisiana. I didn't know they had a pelican there. That's kind of super weird. Well, not weird. Weird is not correct, but I like the palm tree there. It's pretty cool. Flag of Wyoming is the silhouette of a bison. Flag Washington is Washington. No, going really all-out effort here. I was ready to vote on the flag of California Bear there, the Bear Club, but no, Louisiana. That's a big old pelican. Look at that. It has a tuft of hair. It's super adorable. I don't know why it's bleeding though. Please not make your pelicans bleed. Please. That's just not something you want to even think about. Hey, doing speak. Well, no more. Genesis, Los Endos Live, 1976. Oh man, got some Genesis here. I hope that this doesn't get any YouTube problems. It's fairly low volume, so that's okay. So yeah, that was Dr. Vrbo's World of Grunting Words. They don't make any sense. Except they do. Farial chips in with commenting on things before I forget. I actually think sketchy and messy art styles that favor motion over plasticity are some of the sexiest. Like 3 sets of ellipses. Not yours, though. Yours has some of the properties, but it's just far too silly. I think you like to draw in a way that just feels like unreal. So everything just kinda blends together into this colorful blur that conveys an atmosphere, but doesn't bring across the movement of a body the same way some other messy motion kinda styles do. Hey Raocow, do you wish sometimes that people would stop trying to talk about sex stuff all the time? Assuming you're speaking in general here. And I mean, I don't know, man, sex is a thing that people do, and, you know, it's a thing that people are gonna talk about, because people like to talk about themselves and the things that they do. Don't misread that. I mean, I think I understand why sometimes would be brought up here, because it's just something I never really approach ever, like, in my videos and whatnot. Because I just think that, I don't know, it leads to too much drama, potentially. A lot of people out there have very specific opinions about what and when can happen in places. Like most subject in the universe, as you're discovering, I have very little opinion on very little things. So I wouldn't really have much to bring to the carpet anyways. But I mean, no, I mean, I don't think, like, it's, people talk about the food they eat, they talk about, you know, the car they want, talk about the job, talk about the fact that slowly and steadily their health is failing them, and they're gonna talk about other things going on. It's perfectly normal. If it bothers you personally, I mean, that can happen. Asexuality is a thing, and it's fine. You just, you know, I'm pretty sure by now, you just gotta be feeling comfortable enough to say, hey, yo, I do not share this vested interest, and hopefully, if they like you enough, they'll understand and everything go. I don't know. No, I don't. They can talk about what they want. If they don't interest me, I won't listen. Like, tends to happen anyways. Telemon adds on a completely different subject. Patreon's press enter to complete your comment thing is so dumb! Anyway, many years ago, you commented in a video about a talk house poll that was going on to name a certain newly created blue-haired armless Cyclops. Specifically, you were expressing disapproval of the leading candidate, which nevertheless went on to win. My question is, don't you think you owe Demo an apology? I don't remember that. I remember the poll, but I don't remember expressing disapproval towards the name Demo. Like, I'll believe you. I have no reason to doubt you, but that just feels insane to me, because at this point, I cannot imagine any other name at all for her than Demo. Like, what did I want to name her? Like, did I convey any preference myself? I mean, if she wishes for an apology, I will gladly give it, because I think the name fits her quite well. Other than the fact that it sounds like, you know, she's like the demo, like demonstrative sort of like product, even though according to the very official timeline, she's like one of the newest ones made. So I don't know how that works. Like, why would you call one of your newer model Demo? I don't understand myself. Like, if you ask me if she's called Demo, she's probably supposed to be one of the first, not one of the last. But I mean, the timeline was set out in a video game, and if it appears in a game, that trumps everything. That has a supreme authority. So I don't know what's going on. So I'm assuming that it's actually a nickname, and her real name is like the Demonia Domino. It's just really awkward to say because there's a triple D in there. It's just like, let's just call me Demo, or she presents herself as Demo. So just like in real life, more often than not, I'm gonna present myself as Sam instead of Samuel. I hate the English pronunciation of Samuel. I hate it, but I'm speaking English there and I didn't think about it. So yes, if she wishes an apology, she will get one. Sorry about my squeaky chair, by the way, if you can hear, and if you can't, apologize for apologizing for nothing. There's some guitar going on. Meatball Writer's back with questions. Wow, dear raocow, these are the wizard questions. This is their home. Okay. 1. Do you know any neat local urban legends? Not really. So let's look for some. Let's just open this up here. I honestly, like, if you ask me, I don't think so. So Sherbrooke. Yeah. What's the urban legends? I don't know if I'm gonna get anything. That they're here to talk about the weather. Movie times in Sherwood. That's a movie. Yeah, I don't think that we have any. Like, if we have any, I don't know anyone. I don't know any myself. I know the classic urban legends, but I don't know any myself that are local to my area. I feel super bad about disappointing you once more again. 2. Why are spinning attacks typically stronger than non-spinning attacks? It's because all the momentum, you know, stores up into kinetic energy, and the more energy you have, the more damage you cause. It's just, that's basic applied science there. A big part of teaching science and learning science is learn how to look at the little numbers flip out of bodies when they make contact. 3. What is the name of your most powerful form? And what is its finishing move? Most powerful form? I mean, I think it has obviously been decided to be God Emperor raocow at this point. However, that is merely its inner state. If he were to be angry and get, you know, go into a superior kind of shape to exercise battle, now we would be seeing the killer beam fighter Emperor raocow and his super finishing blow, hot butter all up in the everywhere. Don't ask detail about what happens when that happens, because no one has ever survived the process to talk about it, nor witnessed it, apparently. Some people think it's the most secretive urban legend of Sherbrooke, but they're mostly making things up. Powerful wizards have extra bones to harness the flow of mental energy. Okay. Suppose for a moment you were granted additional bones. Ew. Where would you want them? I put them in my shins so that they're stronger. I could use the extra support in my legs. 5. Powerful wizard inverts your skill at video games, causing you to become actual best at them. What do you do with your newfound infernal powers? Well, I would take the speedrun community by storm and eat all their world records and store them within myself forever, becoming finally the villain I've always dreamt of being. And this is the part where I laugh. 6. What is your plan B? Driving an automobile into alligator country and living how to fly fishing and frisbee, you know, championship coaching. Finally, peace of mind. It's not as good as plan A. I mean, that's what plan Bs are there for. It's to be not as good, but still be okay with it. And alright. Pizza Pony, what? You exist? Can't think of anything to type here. Music. Cowabunga. Well, you could think plenty of things there. I mean, you even thought about typing that you couldn't think to type anything. Like, not besmirk the word that you think that are word. Oh, wow. TNT4, Turtles in Time Music, Technodrome, Let's Kick Shell. Yeah, that's music. Here's that. I like this comment here. Let's kick shit. Shit. That's a very nice word that I wish did not exist. 1. Thoughts on beat 'em ups. What ones have you played, and what are some that are your favorites? I played a lot of beat 'em ups back in my young days. Favorite is like some of my favorites. I will consider what's it called? Sunset Riders, because it follows the same rhythm. I'll put up there also. What's the X-Men arcade one is, I thought was super good. Like I'm pretty sure it aged terribly. Like the Simpson one, like aged terribly. Yeah, like, you know what? That's pretty good. Like, there's one thing in particular that is not, or, I can't remember what it is. Like, I don't remember anything right now about it, but, which makes it, like, makes this a weird thing to get stuck up, I guess. Why brawlers, anyway? They are, like, the most extinct, genre of game up there. The one I played the most was probably, and easily, which are conflicting words there, but doesn't matter. Double Dragon 2. I played that game a lot as a kid. I even did a tiny, not quite let's play of it at some point in time, and it was a good time and fun, except for some people who don't like the genre. It did not survive the echoes of time very well. 2. What kind of gross thing would you rather do than play an AVGN quote? Sometimes when you curse in French, I think of a French AVGN. No, I don't know. Remember, I reserve the option to not answer a question, and you will not make me succumb down to the angry video game nerd level, not even in jest. Some things I will just not approach. Also, my swears in French are like very basic, if sometimes old-fashioned French-Canadian things. There's nothing creative about them. 3. Are you a sandwich? Most of the time, no. 4. A powerful wizard. Oh no, Pizza Pony's turning into Meatball Rider. A powerful wizard has invaded this question. Inquires of you whether you think pointy wizard hats are cool. If they got a bit of a bent to them on the top, if you know what I'm talking about. 5. What is your top 5 things you like about Horikawa? Man. And that is probably the 5th one, yeah. Now, while I was saying this, there was a swan con looking in the window, and I think it was eating time space. So if something happened to the audio there, like not being able to be grasped by the human ear, it's not like I apologize for that. I probably should have, watched out for that. I shoot the swan away though with a broom, so no more space time should be consumed during the rest of this recording. Hopefully. 6. What is your plan C while building pop-up books out of French bread, and I would sell them on the internet using Facebook? Isn't that everyone's plan C? Like, sometimes you guys ask weird questions that are just so obvious. I just don't get it. Shark of the Day is here to save the day. Music thing that I was originally going to request, but I guess you didn't. But now you did. Man, I'm doing a lot of progress on last week's art piece there. I can totally tell. I'm totally not ever getting always distracted by everything else in the universe. What do we got here? Muramasa, Demon Blade. Deep in Mountain and Valley A. Oh, that good old Valley A. So that's if you got some time to lose in the summer, bring your family over to Valley A and look up the sheep just kind of grazing by with a dull, expressionless, basically dead eye in their eyeball. It's super great. What are your feelings on jazz? Jazz is alright. You gotta be in a specific mood, at least I am, but it's alright. How much have you listened to and would be interested in recommendations for more? I don't know how much I've listened to. I've listened to an amount, but it's hard to quantify music. Listen to a lot of it, I guess. I don't know, like relative to the average human person, probably more than average. It's not my preferred genre though, but I mean I don't dislike it. Related question, since was literally been the theme song for the majority of Magalex, have you ever bothered listening to Chick Corea's Spain? No. If not, my Patreon requests that you listen to it at some point. It's 10 minutes long, so I wouldn't recommend doing so now. And report back on it with a link there. Alright, I'll report back on it at some point in time. Also note that if you're interested, 500 Miles High and Children's Song from the same album are also pretty good, although the latter is more due to my bias towards simplicity and minimalism. Jazz-like electronic music has really weird song title names sometimes. Fieldy Pot is all, hey, Rao Rao. In addition to my comment last week, I also had a question music request I guess you missed. I did, and once again, I cannot apologize enough when that happens. And I mean that sincerely. I'm sorry. So here they are. Question, do you like Halloween? Music request. Once this is done. I don't know, I don't have much of an opinion on Halloween. Surprise! I think it's neat. Like, it's just that, there's like... Halloween is fun because, well, yeah, it has a background in religious activity. The modern version of Halloween has no religious connection. So it's like one of the rare off days where you're actually doing something, but like it's like no matter the religion, you can just kind of like have fun with it. I say that because like there are bank holidays out there, like, and stuff like, like King whatever's face day and things like that. Like that, they're more like based on where you are, like, and it's like everyone gets a day off, but you don't actually do anything for it. It's just a day off that you can use, like, mow the lawn or something. But Halloween, you don't get a day off, but everyone, everyone gets to play along, basically, and have fun. And I think that's super neat. However, if you don't participate, like Halloween changed a lot through time. Now that people realize that going outside disguised can be fairly dangerous. Like now, I guess maybe it changes regionally, but over here it's like people do the Halloween run in cars while they go house from house, and it's a different experience for bad and for good, I suppose. I've got good memories of Halloweens, but I was never big into disguising myself at a time, and I was a coward, so people who had disguises were too good. I got scared and got unhappy. But Halloween as a concept got us the Nightmare Before Christmas. I mean, can't be all bad. This music seems to be going in repeat, so I'm just gonna go ahead and change it. I feel like a jerk, but... it did go in repeat or something. How? Oh no, it loaded up the... that's Valley B. Nuts to you, Valley B. We're going to Paprika Neguru Mono. Alright, Paprika Neguru Mono. I don't know what language it is in, from the movie Paprika. Alright. That's pretty weird. Steam Boy. Don't know what you're going on about, but here we are. Don't know a lot of things about a lot of things I don't know. That's just fine. Star Maiden's all near it out, Cal. I have a question regarding Chiropteran fidelity, past and present. Have you ever met any bats who were, in fact, trustworthy? Funny thing is, no. Kaika is here and explains the thing I've said before, in that this is super appreciated and all, but I didn't want the quality of the video to suffer. Last week's comment was just a statement because I was psyched that the video literally was like 1 or 2 seconds under an hour. Anyway, you mentioned in a recent Magalex 2 episode that Super Mario Galaxy music does nothing for you. So here's my favorite song from Galaxy 2 as a music request to win you over. I'll play it once we're there, but like honestly, I don't expect me to be won over. I appreciate heavily orchestral pieces, but I am more swayed by melody, and a lot of Mario Galaxy's music does not have a strong melody. have strong arrangements, have strong build-ups and whatnot, but the melody themselves, I find, are kind of lacking. And that's my opinion, and I'm sure that one day I might get swayed, but I'll be surprised when that happens. And I'll play your music when this piece is done. Grigory Kikola is all, what is the best game for the original Game Boy? That's, original Game Boy? Donkey Kong 93? I answered that really quickly, I'm thinking about it, but that's probably, like, in terms of both content and, content quality and quantity, the Donkey Kong remake that had, 16 worlds with multiple stages each was super good. Play that game if you haven't, and you have a Game Boy. Emulator doesn't exist, what are you talking about? Then he goes, comment! Regarding my last video at 3442, you are being very greedy with your superpowers. I meant being able to hover in place. Horizontal motion while hovering is not included unless you have some external means of propulsion. Ha! I'm sorry, Greg, but if I had the ability to hover, you know darn gosh well I would find a way to have some means of propulsion. 49 at the 49th minute, new tab in Firefox is Control T. Alright, and at 50 minutes 42nd, does a hot dog bun really count as a slice of bread? Well, yeah, it's a bread. It's a slice of bread that was folded over, dude. Like, it's not a slice as in sliced bread, but it's still freaking bread that's thin enough. Okay, it's maybe not a slice, but it's a bread thin enough that you can cover your meat in. Also, the word used in the article was slices, plural, and the clauses that followed even specified there had to be 2 or more pieces of bread. I think this evokes a number of hole in your sandwich theory, Mr. Cow. Look at a hot dog bun, and you'll realize that they're actually, they're basically 2 pieces of bread that are kind of, linked. It's like if you were cutting a piece of bread in 2, but you stopped just short. I'm sorry, but to me it's you've got meat surrounded by bread, that's a sandwich. If you're gonna be picky that way, go ahead, but you won't convince me, because that's not evidence. That's just being a sandwich raider passion guy. And that's a title that exists. You can put it on a flag, and then you put that flag on your card, and everyone knows it. How you feel about that? Now, Meatball Rider's back. A clarification. The power to transfer good ideas is like, say, this guy was going to have a good idea. He will no longer have that good idea. Instead, someone else of the wizard's choosing will have one in their place. For example, if someone was going to have the idea to start collecting stamps to ease their boredom, but they got wizarded, they would be unable to have that idea in that instance, but would still have the idea in the future. What? Life is short and our good ideas are limited. Do not take them lightly. No, yeah, that, amongst the options you had given me, that's still, I think, the preferable option to have. What's with y'all with very precise, weird ideas for powers? Where's the difference between flight and, picking ducks? Puzzle Playing Galaxy! Oh, there's a good beat to this one at the very least. Oh, it's this song! I heard this somewhere. Okay, this song is pretty alright, but honestly, I will counter by saying that this doesn't sound like Super Mario Galaxy music. It's like it escaped a Yoshi Island song or something. Like, there was a Yoshi Island game they made one piece of music for, but that's all they did. Like, they were starting from a really weird place, I guess, and they just, well, we got this going, so I guess we're gonna use it here. So, okay, okay, you know what? Some songs of Galaxy are alright, but not the majority. Or at the very least, not the ones that people keep using in their music. So, but okay, you know what? But yeah, some songs are fine, it turns out. That means maybe you'll be able to win me over with your hot dog as in a sandwich stand, but you're gonna have to find an example as strong as this song. So good luck, Mr. Coca-Cola. Lovely Penguin chimes in while bathing in butter. What's within butter today? I don't know. I'm thinking a lot about butter. It's a good thing, it's a fun thing to think about, because it's all slimy and you can run your hand in it. It's like, wash. My hand's all gross now. Anyways, Lovely Penguin, here is a trio of questions. What is your favorite kind of candy? Gummy worms. Are you allergic to anything? Dog hair, pollen, and dust. Finally, I recall you saying you have a bad leg. What is wrong with it exactly? It's a mixture of several things. I was born with slightly deformed feet. They weren't bad enough that they would require an intervention while I was a kid. However, I guess what happened is that, I was walking and whatnot. And what happened is eventually, I don't know what happened, but at some point I was going upstairs. That was back when I was at university. And that was when I was learning about teaching. And the teaching department stuff class were all on the third floor of a building without an elevator. And you kind of had to hustle because when class was starting, everyone is there, and you gotta follow the traffic while you're going up a spirally square staircase kind of thing. And I think at some point, my foot just couldn't keep up, and it felt like something just crashed or something, if that makes any sense. And since then I've had trouble walking. My feet are, especially my left one, it's a lot worse than my right one. Basically imagine if your foot was rotated to the side, then bent at the middle downward, and bent again over to the left. So if I put my foot on the ground, it's like I can have my toes against the ground, or I can have my heel and the rest kind of floats, or I can bend my feet over to the side, have the arc on the ground, but everything else is kind of floating. So it's like I have 3 different pressure points that can't touch the ground at the same time unless I'm wearing my orthèse is a word in French. I don't know what that is in English. Like my plastic thingy I need to put in my shoes to be able to walk good. And that sucks. And the problem is that because of that, for pretty much my entire life, my weight has been distributed in my legs in the wrong way. So all the weight distribution kind of ends up on my knees and doesn't get spread out well from that. So what happens is that my legs are proportionally extremely weaker than the rest of my body. And that's a whole lot of fun. So see, this leads to a lot of problems. Back then I kept in shape by playing a lot of DDR, but at that point I couldn't anymore because I just get tired and it's not tired because of rep and motion, but it's this sort of tiredness that comes from pain. It's hard to describe if it's not something you've ever experienced, but it's not fun. And yeah, it's that's been kind of haunting me since. Also, what doesn't help is that I've broke my left foot twice by now, due to I believe what did the doctor call it? How did the doctor call this? Fracture de. It sounds like stress fracture, basically, just out of it's something that people who train themselves, when they overtrain, they cause undue stress on their bones, and eventually it seeds through the pressure and breaks. That's what happened to my left foot twice, because I just couldn't put my weight well enough on the foot, and the weight distribution was all over the place. So yeah, so in that way I can claim that I have broke my foot during the very arduous task of walking off a soft hill. It's good times. Yeah, I gotta laugh because otherwise I'd be real sad. Well, yeah, that's what's wrong. I think I'm caught up with music. Yeah, oh yeah, okay. Yeah. So yeah, lovely penguin. That's what's going on. Make a fire. Questions. Have there been times that you've been disappointed in the Talkhouse community? The Talkhouse community has improved quite a bit since the beginning, but I recall one particular instance. I don't know if you might remember. When I was playing, I believe I was playing for YouTube, the Second Reality Project 2. At that time, I don't know what was going on exactly, but there was a strange, I would call it a rivalry, but it's really closer to animosity between certain Talkhouse members and Super Mario Central. I never understood why. It's like people thought it was some kind of rival, like something, and they would go over there. Talkhouse member would go over there and shitpost and just spam and be terrible trolls, and that got me really aggravated. And this struck me because there is a video, I forgot which one exactly, but in video of me playing that game for YouTube, where I basically stopped what I'm doing because it was stressing me out, and I kind of blew up about that. And I was feeling really bad afterwards, but I hope that it helped kind of clean the plate a little bit. I mean, but like I said, the Talkhouse as a whole really improved about that since then quite a bit. On a slightly lighter note, are there any games you wish you could play but can't due to system requirements, being on a system you don't have, etc.? And then music, because there's always music. I don't know, man. I'll play something when I have the opportunity, but I don't know if there's anything that I really like at this point in time. Like, I'm sure in the past there were games that, I wanted to play and whatnot, but due to emulator and whatnot. Ooh, Scott Pilgrim's Reward, another winner. See, it says as soon as I can get this scroll down, see, another winner. Due to the advent of modernity, it's just not really something that, I did play everything I wanted out of classic games at this point, and there's not a lot of modern games that really get me that I can't get to in some way or another, and there's not really any console exclusives that I really want to jump on. So, at some point in my life, I would have answered things really kind of hard to get things like Sexy Parodius, it's Japanese stuff like that, but due to the internet, you can get your hand on those at this point, if you try hard enough. So, just thinking if there's any fighting games maybe, but no, I've done what I wanted to. Well, okay, here's kind of an answer. Guilty Gear Xrd. I am still kind of bummed that I don't have access to it now because it's not on PC. So there's an answer there, I guess. That just came to my mind. Rena Turnip is all, hi Valcow. Hi Rena Turnip. Thank you for continuing with the Patreon bonuses each week. I hope that you're mostly enjoying them and not finding them a chore. I really want this to continue being a fun thing. It's certainly fun for the rest of us, and it's nice to feel like I'm talking a little directly with you. Do you watch the dev commentary videos and read the big text walls from level makers and Maggle on the forum? There's a few questions here, so I guess I'm gonna stop there for now. I haven't watched every dev commentary, but I have read every text version of developer commentary, because I do find that honestly very interesting. I think it's super neat, and I wish everyone would go ahead and do one of those. Not everyone does, and I understand it's not necessarily necessary. The reason why I'd rather absorb those than the videos is that sometimes the video ones can get a bit long for no reason. But, there's a lot of heart, and I try to make time. It's just not something I can as guarantee. I read faster than most people can talk, typically. And that's probably the case for a lot of y'all, honestly. When you're done playing levels, whether you had a good or poor experience, is it very interesting for you to get a little insight on where the makers were coming from or trying to go? Very much so. I've personally been enjoying hearing from everyone a lot, even if I don't talk much on the forum lately. I kind of wish I could ask you to give a personal critique of the ups and downs of my MATLAB now that the excitement of playing it has long since calmed down. But that seems super selfish and self-indulgent on my end, Colin capital T. Instead, I will ask you if you've ever seen any cosplay you really liked, or if you have an appreciation for it in general. I do have an appreciation for cosplay, especially when it's not sponsored, like it's not like professional cosplaying from companies like whatevs. When it's handcrafted, though, I think it's super neat. Like, I've seen some really elaborate stuff for characters like Shenko from Darkstalker, which is like, wow, you know, like I forgot what it was, but like, dude had freaking riggings to like for the wings on his character, but I forgot what it was, and it's some of them. Like, there's a lot of passion that goes in those costumes, and it shows, and it's super neat. I don't have much in terms, like, it's not something I particularly seek or take note of, but, you know, like, if I'm watching something about fan stuff and whatnot, and it shows up, like, I'll go and take a look for sure. Costume design is as valid an art form as anything else. And they do some incredible stuff. Like, and sometimes it makes you wonder what they could accomplish if they were actually design their own thing. Because, like, cosplay is pretty much literally an extension of fan art. Just kind of like, you know, in real life. I've recently, like, it's just that sometimes it's like the match of the player themselves, like the costumer, the costume, and the costume itself just makes something so. The most impressive one I've seen recently was probably a Matsuda on Tumblr. Let's go on Tumblr. Let's take a break out of everything here and let's go on Tumblr, because I'm pretty sure it's right on my dashboard. I think. Let's see here. That's GameStop. That's not cosplay at all. What's going on here? Okay. Okay, it's a crane at random. I get it. See, there's this one guy. I don't know what's going on there. It's no time. Let's see here. That's a cat. Look at that adorable kitty. Oh. Come on. Where are you at? Grim Fandango, that's a video game. There you go! Matsuda from My Hero Academia. Like, that is pretty much literally exactly how it would look like in real life. And that is crazy! That's just crazy! And the quality of the shot itself and whatnot, too, like, contributes a lot. But, yeah, like, sometimes it happens. Sometimes it's good. Where even am I going with this? By the way, asks Philby Pot. I'm sorry, audio version people, but you've been warned ahead of time. There is some visual component to these. Anyways, Philly Pot is all. By the way, since you and others may be wondering, this is what a falafel is. What is falafel? It's falafel. That's what it is. And there's a YouTube link. So, couldn't you link to an image? That's how to make falafel in 6 freaking minutes. Hell no. Let's look at the end result. Oh, that's right. Falafel is one of those rare. That looks like a meatball, except it's beans. I think. Like, I thought it was a dessert or a pastry for a while, but apparently it's a meat substitute. Okay, so it's like a meatball but without meat, I guess. All right, that doesn't look like the falafel character at all, though. It just looks like a grainy meatball. A little confused. Was the mini falafel adventure lying to me? Can't believe it. Cubic Tom! If you could make your own Patreon request, what would it be? Now to press enter to start a new paragraph. If I could make my own Patreon request, I would request, what are your 5 top most open-ended questions that you have ever experienced in the universe? And how do they relate with the upcoming event horizon that'll probably happen in the next couple of years? Will Hart is all. Do you remember reading a book, watching a movie, or playing a game that made you fully lose the track of time and made you feel really accomplished and good afterward? The latest that happened was when I watched One Punch Man episode 1. I really got lost in that episode, and it just flew by. It's like, what? It's already done. Except, like, it wasn't like, what's already done? It feels like it wasn't enough content. It's like, what? It's already done. I can't wait for more. But at the same time, there were no filler. Everything felt, everything was just good. So that's the latest, and, that happened a week ago, because it releases on Mondays. Although that is neither book, movie, or playing a game, because technically that is an episode. So I guess, in terms of games, probably the last time I made a level in Mario Maker. Time just flies super by while you're working at that thing. So that will probably be my answer. I think so. Yeah. I mean, if you're just talking about losing track of time, Wings of E would count, but I didn't feel good and accomplished afterwards, which is probably why you added that. Oh my god, we're not even close to being done. Sorry about that. But yeah. Rustar, greetings to you, raocow. I've been a long-time watcher of your videos, but that's not important. But this is, since you mentioned your favorite Toho was Koakuma, where'd you hear that? But I could be mistaken. Yeah, I'm not, what? How did you thought it was Koakuma? Is that something I said during Super Marissa World 3,000 years ago? I have very little opinions about Koakuma. If anything, my top is probably Nue. Or drop the Koakuma. Alright. Okay. That is not a flattering art style for Patchouli. Anyway. Oh, jeez. Alright. Anyway, since it's almost Thanksgiving for you guys, actually Thanksgiving is tomorrow for me, at the time of this recording. Halloween just around the corner, and Christmas looming ahead. What's your favorite holiday? I'm still going through your Patapon catalog, so I hope this isn't a repeat, and I apologize if so. The weird staggering quality of... Oh, I see. It stops every time she looks. Because I don't know, like, the way it just stopped was really kind of bothersome to me. Favorite holiday? I'm not much of a celebratory type of person. Like, as a kid, I love Christmas, but I mean, what kid doesn't, except kids that have parents that don't want to give good presents, I guess. Nowadays, I barely, celebrate anything. Like, a day is a day. Every day is great anyway, so I don't need a special day to say, hey, everything's going great, yo. Also, having to work every single holiday for your job for several years is gonna make you completely lose track of what the hell is anything. I don't know, man. Like, I like the idea of the whole Christmas catalog of holidays, and all the other religious holidays that are around the same time, because it's just a time where people actually try to almost pretend to be decent people. And I wish that happened a little bit more often. And I mean, even that, I need to add all those little words to it, because people forget real quick, and suddenly it's all, let's enter greed mode, yo. Because, so many holidays are, kind of dumb, or they're, nothing, that were just kind of, turbo boosted by big greeting card industry. And it's whatever, man. And, it's hard to find a pure holiday nowadays. I don't even know if there isn't really any at this point. That makes me sad. Best holiday in that case is everyone's individual birthday, because it is about you and you alone on that one day. Just assume there's no one else that ever was born on that same day. It's just yours. Vault Gloss. I have music I'd recommend, but raocow literally used it as music for his Magalex 2 level, so feels kind of superfluous. As for a question, raocow, during your watching the trailers video, you mentioned getting a Chrysalis vibe. Sorry. I think, but that could be wrong, that you even said that during the Star Tropics segment. What are your thoughts, impressions, memories of Crystalis, and do you see it as a potentially viable LP candidate? Played Crystalis when I was really young, and I'm gonna be honest, like, I remember the vague mechanics of it, and how the animation was kind of really quick. But like a lot of the progress is extremely vague and nebulous, and like really not described at all. And I recall it getting real hard, real fast, but maybe that was just me at the time. It's not the best game in the universe. I'm pretty sure it probably didn't age very well, but I got memories of it. I don't know, like there were like 3 different level of charges you can have with different elemental swords and stuff, and that was pretty cool. That's mostly what I remember. Like, I barely, like, you fought slimes, I think, maybe bears. There's a flute, but, like, what RPG ever never had a flute, you know? So, those are my memories. Would it do a good LP? Honestly, I don't think so, because it's kind of on the nibulous for the sake of nibulism, and also language barrier, because, you know, dubious translation. But, I wouldn't be opposed to it, but let's say I wouldn't make it my priority either. Ramo's nephew says, when you first placed Ika-chan, you didn't seem to have a particularly high opinion of squids. I think you called them gross or something, much as a great big stupid face might be conjectured to do. However, Mission Lumpy Star and beyond suggest to turn away from this classical stupid Facian outlook in the adoption of a significantly more cephalopod positive, Weltanschauung. Did a squid save your life at some point between these two events, snatching you up in the protective embrace of its mighty yet gentle tentacles and whisking you away from burning wreckage of your sinking ship before depositing you again safely upon sweet Mother Earth? Or did you come to this conclusion after 49 days of meditation under a peepal tree? The second one. As a concept, squids, they look kind of cool, but I lived near the sea for several years, you'll remember, and a lot of sea animal I have experienced as dead shell of animals or drying up version of them that washed away on the beach. So I don't have necessarily a super positive, best possible implementation in nature, not like visual reflex of imagining how a critter looks like. But if you look at squids that are healthy and underwater in pictures and whatnot, and especially drawn, they look super cute. And I regret my choice of word while playing Ika-chan, and I hope that Ika-chan will one day forgive me. Cubic Tom is back. Quick question. How would you feel about changing the licensing of your Magol X2 videos from the standard YouTube license to the Creative Commons license? The reason I bring it up is that it would make developer commentaries much easier. Instead of the hassle of the level makers learning to use recording software, they would have direct access to the video to talk over if they want. A link to remix the video appears in the description box. I wasn't aware that was a thing. That's the main reason why I haven't been doing it. I just flat out wasn't aware it was a thing. But I mean, the people will still need to learn how to record their voice and edit the video. So I don't know if it would be as brilliant and automatic an answer to that, wouldn't it? Like they can already just kind of like film a square over my own video, like Maiku tends to do, and that does just as good a job, yo. But I'm trying to remember that, because I just wasn't aware that was an option and a thing you could do. Question. If you had to remove one color from the perceivable field of colors to your eyes, which would it be? How direct are we? I mean, if I had to choose a broad color, wait a second, what would it be replaced with? Like, okay, let's say, for example, let's say I want to remove brown. The closest neighbor to brown is probably orange. So I would not see anything brown anymore, and instead I would see it as a shade of orange, because that sounds amazing, and I want that to happen right now. And otherwise, also, could you read the following tongue twister aloud? Probably not, but I'll give it a try. Alright. There was a fisherman named Fisher who fished for some fish in a fisher, till a fish with a grin pulled a fisherman in. Now they're fishing the fisher for Fisher. Hey, I think I did this alright. I think it sounded alright. I probably could have said it faster. Here's the... If you want to see it for yourself, men and gentlemen, here it is. See? See, I'm just gonna... What am I doing? Okay, I should use my mouse instead of my tablet for this, I guess. See? There was a fisherman named Fisher who fished for some fish in a fisher, till a fish with a grin pulled a fisherman in, and now they're fishing the fisher for messed up there, and I added an extra word there. So second attempt, absolute failure. But I'm happy with my first try. I probably did a tons of mistakes and just didn't hear them because I am the one making the word sounds out of my mouth. That's always what happened, isn't it? Also, now I lost my place in this book we call High. Please do not read a book called High. Where am I in my thing? Oh, there it is. Far. Okay, we're nearing the end. Wow, this kind of train wrecking here. Fariel's all Patreon request vote against Stephen Harper. Done and done. Maiku Wodaharu, is there any way I can convince you into submitting vocals for Talk House Sings? It needs to be a song I recognize and know. I don't want to sing a song I don't know, but when it's a song I know, I love to sing. I'm aware I only participated in one Talk House Sing. It was Bohemian Rhapsody. If there was another song that would just catch my fancy, I jump in. It's just, I'm aware that it's vague, and I just kind of, and you know, there's a lot of different conflicting little things about it, but it needs to be a song that speaks to me, which is the vaguest, most evilest thing I could answer, and I'm aware. But I want to participate in one. I do. I just need to, one, notice the thread, and two, notice it when it's a song I know. But it's not because I want to boo you or anything that I'm not playing along. It's just it never catches my eye at the right time. Fusion Warrior, I had a yummy Thai dinner with my pops. What kind of non-Canadian food appeals to you? And to respond to your reaction of seeing your name there, yeah, I figured out whenever someone I really want to support has a pat-a-pat tier that allows for a shout-out, I figured I might as well promote you because I don't really have any projects or the like. Also, you said you were going to listen to more of the mariachi stuff on your own. Did you, and what do you think? I did, and it is amazing. I love remixes and reinterpretation of songs that I recognize into a different genre. I love interpretative work, and I think it's super neat. As for the actual question there, non-Canadian food that appeals to me, I love Italian food. I love Italian food. Italian food is really good, guys. Just putting that out there. If you're Italian and you make food, I will probably want it inside my body at some point. Putting that out there. Just saying. Hopefully in my stomach. Do not inject your food in my veins. That would probably kill me. Probably. Just, be careful. Don't misinterpret what I'm putting down. Swirly Bomb, second last question here, just in response to people suggesting you play Undertale. Yes, it's a pretty fantastic game, but it's not at all suited to you LPing it, so I wouldn't recommend it. Questions. Oh man, the Smash Bros. Ballot ended last week. Did you vote for anyone yourself, and if so, who? Can you name a character that you personally aren't too interested in, but expect to be added? How about a character that you'd really like to see in Smash, but feel that you have no chance? I did vote for it, but I don't remember who. And it's hard. I have a distinct memory of going on a site and going in the vote thing and putting down a name. But I honestly have no memory of what exactly I voted. And I mean, the reality is, the Smash 4 character selection is already huge with a ton of fun character. So to me, I don't really need anyone else. But, knowing that there could be new people would be super fun, and that's great. But I don't really need anyone at this point. You know, I like new characters. I'll probably buy them because I'm dumb. So that's how all your collective money is being used. It's all on Smash Brothers characters, and I keep buying all over and over again as a pathology. But I feel like I have everyone that I need. I know that's just the cast is already gigantic and about almost as varied as the game could. Honestly, like Ryu was a big surprise in how it incorporates actual commands for his specials. Unless they go far out that way, but I mean, who knows, really? For your for about personally, Aaron 2 and the rest of expected to be added. I am fascinated and kind of weirded out by the popularity of King K. Rool since his visual design is really dumb and hyper generic. Sorry, Kaika. From now on, you can't listen to this on a DS. Yeah, like I'm not a big fan. Like I like King K. Rool in the context of Donkey Kong Country games, but I wouldn't really, not really interested in him in Smash. I just don't get it. But he's really popular for some reason. And character I would really like, I don't know. Like as far as I'm concerned, all my bases are covered. I like everything is there. Everyone, like even Mega Man, like in the past I would have said Mega Man, but he's been there since day one. And then they added Ryu, which I didn't knew at the time I didn't know I really wanted, but then he got there, and you know what? Yeah, it turns out I really wanted it, but surprise, turns out he's there now. So I personally feel completely fulfilled. Last one, my Elena. I hope there is time for me to squeeze in one more question. In platformers, do you prefer a character which has minimal movement complexity or a high amount? What I mean is, would you rather have the standard Mario type moveset, walk, jump, run, fireball, or behaviors like the Mega Man X series, Distorted Travesty, and Nitroid, with various attacks, double jumps, kicks, slides, wall jump, dash, and the like. And where do you feel there's a balance between the two? Ideal. We're talking about a platformer here, so we're talking about a game where the majority of the obstacle is going to be platform related. I think that Super Meat Boy nails it perfectly. Run, jump, wall jump. That's what you need. A sort of like slide mechanic to your wall jump, with the potential of power-up / alternate character with the double jump. That is perfect. As soon as you start to include enemy-related stuff, then something like a fireball is fine. I always prefer simplicity over complexity in these things. Make what you can do simple, so that the complexity can come from your options and from the obstacles, you know? Complex obstacles that you navigate with a series of simple action, for me, is the ultimate sort of way to design in a video game, in my opinion. The fact that I absolutely love Distorted Travesty and looking forward to playing the third one is almost an aberration, because that game is hilariously complex, using 3 billion buttons and like all sorts of different elemental like elements and whatnot in combination. That game is overwhelming with its options, but the gameplay design is solid enough. And you know, when you do turn over to doing platforming, suddenly you can just kind of like mentally block off like 3/4 of what your buttons can do and focus on the platforming buttons for the most part. And that's what makes it good. It's a balance. That's the balance. But you know, otherwise, I think Mario is the perfect balance. There's a reason Mario is more or less seen as the gold standard of platforming. And it's not just because of their history, but it's because they kind of nailed it right at the start. And people have just kind of like basing themselves off of Mario since then. And this is going to be it for today. Thank you for sticking around. Thank you for watching. Thank you for existing. Thank you for not confusing salt and sugar while you are doing your recipes for eating. And join me hopefully next time when I'm going to say words in the microphone.